What's up, my good people? Welcome to Active Faith Walk, an intentional space for real people walking real journeys in real life. Today, we are going to focus our conversation around building something meaningful, in the space of entrepreneurship, leadership, faith, and how it all ties together, the different challenges, the growth, and just the journey. And today, sharing that journey with us is my dear friend and also my business mentor, a phenomenal man, a phenomenal human being, just in general, Mr. Simon Smith.
Thank you.
And I am so happy to have him. Simon, thank you so much, first of all, for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
excited.
you are one of the people that's been with me from the very beginning of this journey, when I was, hesitant and scared out of my mind, building this as well as being an entrepreneur. So I am really, and you've given over the time that we have, interacted and worked together. You've given me some great advice. We've had great conversations, and I'm happy to bring it here to share with everybody else.
Beautiful. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. I want to say first, let us know a little bit about like where you started.
Okay. Well, I've lived here in Southern California most of my life, and I went through the traditional thing of going to go to college, and I started, and guess what? I dropped out. Became a reserve police officer in the city of Chula Vista, California.
Yeah.
And realized that's not what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And I got into retail. And I was actually an entrepreneur probably when I was 16 or 17 years old because I had a paper
nice.
route.
Okay.
I ran my own business early on,
Yeah.
And so started a career working with the Alpha Beta supermarket, a grocery chain similar to Vaughn's and Ralph's and so forth and so on. And worked my way through that, really learned the business. Left that company after I became a store manager and went to work for the Southland Corporation, 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And where I really learned about franchising.
Okay.
And eventually moved over to Chief Auto Parts, which was a division of the Southland Corporation. And at Chief is where I really got my first opportunity to really run a business and be a partner. And I partnered with a group of people, and we grew Chief Auto Parts from 200 auto parts stores to over 600.
Wow. What was the time frame for that?
10 years.
10 years. Okay.
10 years. It took us 10 years to build a company, to build it from 200 stores to about 600, a little over 600. Sold it to AutoZone. So AutoZone, Chief Auto Parts became AutoZone. And, I left and said, okay, I want to stay working for myself, and went to work and became a Blockbuster Video franchisee.
Nice.
So
that's so cool.
And I mean, I can go on, but I don't know how much more you want. I mean, we're just having a conversation here. So after but I want to digress just for a second. Before I became a Blockbuster Video franchisee, I actually worked for corporate Blockbuster and ran, I think it was about 200 Blockbuster stores here in the Los Angeles area.
Okay.
And then became a franchisee. Started with one store and grew it to 15. And Blockbuster, of course, went out of business in
I remember when that happened.
2026. And when they went out of business, I went to work for a company called Papa John's Pizza.
Oh.
Papa John's International.
Oh, Papa
Right,
John's. That's
so
a
in
household
2000
name.
Yeah. So in 2006, started with Papa John's, had every intention of working there just for a few months. Maybe one of my good friends had asked me to come in and help him fix part of the company here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I said, I don't really want to work for corporate America. I want to work for myself. but ended up spending almost 15 years at Papa John's, going from
Mm.
a franchise business director to a vice president to a senior vice president running all of United States and Canada for Papa John,
Nice.
working with about 800. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, I mean, I work directly every day with 800 independent business owners. Now we call them
Right,
franchisees, but of
right,
course they
right.
were all running and operating their own business. And I spent 15 years, left Papa John's in 2019, and started my own company called SLS Advisors.
Okay.
And that's what I do today. And my mission is to help and empower business owners, small, medium, and large. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what I do, and enjoy what I'm doing. So when you
Yeah.
ask me to talk about entrepreneurship, it's right up my alley. It's what I love talking about, and
Yeah.
so
And so I want to get into just the fact that you are, because you mentioned, what it is, what it's about for you.
right.
And that for me, that's where the meaningfulness comes in, because
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you are intentionally doing
Right.
really to serve other people, like you
Absolutely.
want to uplift other
Absolutely.
businesses, other entrepreneurs,
Absolutely.
and really kind of share your knowledge along the
Yeah.
way, and helping people get to that next level or
Mm-hmm.
elevate, um, without having to make as many, mistakes. Or I don't even know if you've made many mistakes, but I'm sure we'll get
Yeah.
into that.
Right.
But just how do we want to say this? Making the learning curve a little bit easier.
There you go. That's the key. I like
Yes,
that. Absolutely.
because that's what it's about when we share our knowledge and we,
Yeah.
share our journeys.
Yeah.
That's what
Why
this
would
is
why
about.
would I want to allow other entrepreneurs to make the same mistake that I make when I can minimize? You know, people say there's tough love, right? And you want people to go through. Well, they're going to go through rough times. I can't prevent them
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
save them from everything, but if I
Yes.
can save them from one or two things, that's in my mind that's very helpful
Right.
for the business
You
owner.
know what? That reminds me really quickly. That reminds me of a quote that I just recently saw, and it said something like, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor."
Absolutely, that's a
And
fact.
so, yes.
That's
And I,
fact.
I absolutely love that. Like,
That's
I
right.
love that. When I saw it, I'm like, it clicked
Mm-hmm.
immediately. And I'm like, that is so true. And it reminded me, because it's like in real time, being an entrepreneur, building something meaningful,
Right.
it's not going to be easy.
That's right.
There,
Never.
nothing worth, having, keeping, or that's being built for longevity is
Right.
ever easy.
Absolutely.
And so that quote really, it resonated with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm hearing it again in
Yep.
just what you said, just
Yep.
in different words.
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Everyone has to go through their pain and go through their pain points. But as someone has been through many, many pain points in different types of businesses,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's entrepreneurship, owning your own business, or whether you're working for corporate America, multi-billion-dollar companies, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna go through pain.
Mm-hmm.
The question
Absolutely.
is, can you sustain?
Can you sustain? Can you
Be
weather the
sustainable. Weather
storm?
the storm. That's the word. Yeah.
Okay, because, and I will say, like, this conversation, just, the nature of the conversation and what we are, you know, talking about, it
Right.
reminds me, I'm reminded of Proverbs 16:3.
Mm-hmm.
And it really reminds us that, the work that we do for the Lord
Mm-hmm.
will be established.
Absolutely.
And that, it just reminds me, when you have good intentions about what you're building, what you're creating,
Mm-hmm.
and how you want to use it
Mm-hmm.
to serve other people
Mm-hmm.
or just to uplift,
Mm-hmm.
that's, to me, like,
Mm-hmm.
that's doing work unto the Lord,
Yeah, absolutely.
and which,
Absolutely.
in that scripture, that promise lets me know that if that's your intention, if that's the way that you're going,
Yeah.
it's established. Everything that you need will be established for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
even when the storms come, even when the challenges come, because we know that those are going to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One thing you bring up a great point. You always have to, and when you start a business, you always have to have a vision,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to ask yourself, if I'm going into business, why am I going into business?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going into business just to make money, it's not going to work.
Right.
If you're going into business because you are going to be intentional and help in fixing something. So, for example, let me give you a brief example of what happened. When I started SLS Advisors,
Mm-hmm.
my sole mission, because I learned at Papa John's, working with those 800 independent business owners,
Mm-hmm.
that so many of them, they work hard. Most
Yeah.
most entrepreneurs work really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and that was no different with Papa John franchisees. They work very very hard, um, but they often what's the word is they would walk over dollars to get pennies, right?
Mm. Ooh.
They walk over dollars to
I
get
need to write
pennies,
that down. Hold
you
on.
know,
Walking
and
over dollars to get pennies, because that's
to get
deep.
pennies,
I kind
right?
of want to get into that a little bit more, but
And
please
and
continue. I'm just going to
so
jot that down.
one of the things that I learned at Papa John's is you could be a senior vice president and sit in the office, and or you could be actively in the field talking to these business owners and really really trying to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned a lot of things about government programs working for Papa John. There's a
Okay.
lot of government money available
Okay.
for business owners.
Yes.
The average small business owner never take advantage of it.
Mm.
They are afraid to do it. They don't know how to do it. They have no idea that these types of programs exist. Now the big companies like Amazon and Costco and
Mm-hmm.
those big
Mm-hmm.
guys and gals, uh, take it, get some of the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that direction at Papa John's. So when I started my own business, the purpose of my business and the reason, the gap, was to educate small and medium-sized
Mm-hmm.
business owners and help them secure as many of those government dollars as possible.
Yes.
And that's what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. And it's having a real having a when you open a business and you want to be an entrepreneur, is there a need for what the services you're
There
trying
you
to provide?
go.
Is there a need?
Yes. Is there a
And
need for
and
whatever it is that
that's
you
right.
are creating?
That's right.
I think that's probably one of the most important things for a new entrepreneur, and even someone who is seasoned but starting something new.
Right.
It's like that's part of the research. Is there a need
Mm-hmm.
for whatever it is that you are creating?
Right.
And if it is, then how much of a need?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it isn't, then what's the
Mm-hmm.
purpose? What is
Mm-hmm.
the purpose outside of it
Mm-hmm.
being a need to the people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Um, I want to talk about, because I do know that you are a spiritual man,
Yes.
and definitely, walking by faith
Absolutely.
in your journey to entrepreneurship, because it was a step of faith for you,
Absolutely.
leaving a corporate, position,
Absolutely.
going into your own thing. Um, and I want to, kind of walk us through this journey in a way
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, we can definitely see and take away some of the most important things that you want to share,
Okay.
not only with me, but, with
With yeah.
anybody and everybody listening and watching, and who may be in the space of entrepreneurship
Yes.
and struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Because even, even with me,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many different ideas and things that I have started,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't really see it all the way through, because I felt like I kept, running up against the same
Right.
little things, which brings
Right.
us to step 2.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about, the challenges and the
Yep.
growth
Yep.
that
Okay.
comes with, building something,
absolutely.
meaningful, and just,
Yeah,
being in the space of entrepreneurship and leadership.
yeah. Let me talk a little bit first about. So I'll share a brief story with you. Everyone knows Papa John's International. So the founder of Papa John, John Schnatter,
Okay.
I learned a lot from John. And one thing that he would talk about often, he would say, um, hire the best people you can hire,
Mm-hmm.
train them well,
Mm-hmm.
and then get out of the way.
Yeah.
Allow them to make mistakes and be there to back them up and take good care of them. And he also said that everything, Papa John's started because his father owned Mitch Lounge, and people would come in and have alcohol and drink, and they want food,
Okay.
and they would order pizza, like from the competition, Domino's or Pizza
Okay.
Hut or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
And often John would see that the people wouldn't finish the pizza,
Mm.
and if they didn't finish the pizza, in his mind, it was not good.
Right.
And eventually he started making a pizza.
Okay.
So Papa John's even started because there was a need in John's mind, um, and the need was to create a pizza that was the slogan, and it's not a slogan, it's a way of life. Better ingredients, better
Mm-hmm.
pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he built and became the third largest pizza chain in the world.
Amazing.
So what do you need to do? You got to have a vision.
Yes.
You got to
Okay.
have a purpose, right? And not only do you have to have a vision and a purpose, you have to have discipline.
Yes.
You have to have discipline.
Yes.
And what I
Key
mean by
thing.
discipline,
Yeah. Take us through
often
it.
people think that if you own a business, that you have a lot of money and
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
and it's easy and you get to be on vacation. No, you got to be willing to put in the work,
That's right.
and you got to be willing to weather the storm.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing you have to have, not only do you have to have discipline, you have to understand finance.
Yes.
And I don't even think you have to be a financial guru or
No.
anything, but you have
But
to
that financial
understand it.
literacy
Yeah,
needs to be there.
that's right. That's right. You have to understand, and you have to um, figure out how much money do I need, really, really need. Not how much money you want. How much money do I need to ensure that I can make payroll, that
Mm-hmm.
I can buy my product, I can pay all my bills. And you better have not 1 month, you
Hmm.
better go out 6 months because you're going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Because most people that start businesses, they don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
And often businesses don't fail because the concept is not a good concept.
Right.
It failed because they don't have enough money. So you've got to have discipline. You got to be able to understand the finances. You've got to. I want to look at another thing here. You want to be able to have the ability to sell.
Okay. Yes.
The ability to sell your product to the customer, your idea to the investors,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be able to, more importantly, sell your vision to your what I call team members. Often people call them
Okay.
employees. I like to
Mm-hmm.
call them team members because
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
me, an employee, I'm better than you.
Right.
I'm the
Right.
boss, and you. No,
Right.
we're all team
We're a
members.
teammate.
Right.
Or we're a team.
That's
So we're
right.
teammates. Yeah, I like that.
And you have to weather.
That's
You
powerful.
have to be willing to weather the storm.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, you can't give up easily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you do all of those things, um, you're gonna be a percentage of the businesses that make it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the second piece that you're talking about, what are some of the challenges? One of the biggest challenge of businesses is that most businesses, especially restaurants, 80% of them fail within the first 5 years.
Mm.
Restaurants. Now,
Why is that?
it's because often they don't have enough capital.
Okay. Okay.
locations,
Back to the money.
but
Uh-huh.
more importantly, do they have a vision? And do they have a vision that they can really take that vision and get it into their team members' head
Right.
and really
Right.
have them believe in that vision? Hiring good people. You can't just hire good people. You have to take care of them. You
Mm-hmm.
have to, instead of the greed of taking all of the money yourself and leaving nothing for the people, you have to give the people a reason to want to be there. So,
Absolutely.
great product, you have to have a great vision, you have to have great people, you have to have the financial wherewithal to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
That's why often people open these independent restaurants. I think it's 40, what did I say? 40 to 60% of them, might not be 80, but at least 40 to 60% of them are going to fail in the within the first 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go into a franchise system, it might only be 20 to 40% that
Okay.
fail
Okay.
because you have a structure behind you to help you navigate,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
some people that are
There's a
little
system.
angels coaching you,
There's a
right?
system already in place.
There's a system already in place.
I love a good
Yeah,
system.
there's a
And that
system.
that is one of the things that I have, learned in my journey, in my own journey of entrepreneurship, is the importance of a good system.
Yes,
Like that makes all the difference in the world.
absolutely.
And I know one of the biggest challenges that I would come up against,
Mm-hmm.
in my own journey is trying to do everything by myself.
Yes, gotta have a
I feel
team.
like that, yeah, I feel like that has, that's been one of the biggest challenges
Mm-hmm.
that I've come up
Mm-hmm.
against. And I feel like many people experience that same challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that, when you talk about having a team and,
Mm-hmm.
and really being good to your teammates,
Absolutely.
that pays off. And
That's
it,
right.
it, it shows up in the success of the business, in the
Right.
longevity of the business,
Right.
Um, yeah, so definitely, want to highlight
Mm-hmm.
that, just
Mm-hmm.
having a good team, having
Having a
good
good
people.
team.
You said hire good people.
Absolutely. And you
Yeah.
have to have them. Uh, Very few people leave a job because of money.
Mm-hmm.
They leave a job because they don't like the boss.
Right.
And they leave and they don't like the boss because the boss want there's something you call a boss, right? Or a manager,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are leaders. You
Mm-hmm.
want
Mm-hmm.
to have leaders, not bosses and managers. Uh, Teach your team members, work with them, and then get out of the way and
Mm-hmm.
allow them to make mistakes, allow them to grow, allow them to participate in the
Yes.
financial
Yes.
rewards at the
Yes.
end of the year,
Yes.
just instead of
That's a little
just the
nugget right
executive,
there. That's
right?
what I feel like that's something I should write down too. That's a little
Yeah.
nugget.
Yes.
Um, find good people, train them up,
Right.
and then get out of the way
Get out of the way.
and let them do their thing.
And you will be it will be if you have the right people and you've given them the proper training, they will blow your mind
Mm-hmm.
on how well they will excel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can be off in Aruba
Right.
and enjoying
Right.
life, and
Right.
the
Right.
business
It's
is
thriving.
going to thrive because of the people. It's not one person; it's the
Right.
whole team. So
Right. Right. That's the goal. That,
yeah,
that is definitely the goal,
yeah,
to make it there. And, for me, that sounds like my idea of financial freedom.
yes,
Like I feel like financial freedom means different things to different people.
sure,
But for me, that is one of the huge aspects of financial freedom for me,
right.
is being able to, build something meaningful
Hmm.
and have a system in place to where even if I'm not able to show up, or, be in operations, it's still operating. It's still
Absolutely,
thriving.
absolutely.
It's still growing.
Yes,
It's
right.
still making money.
Exactly, exactly.
So that for me, like along my journey, that's been one of the biggest things that I have taken
Mm-hmm.
from, from mistakes made,
Mm-hmm.
from different advice being shared with me,
Mm-hmm.
different examples, watching people. You are definitely somebody that I pay close attention to in the
Yeah.
space of, entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I will say that I've learned. And it's really about having a great team because it does take
Absolutely.
a team,
Absolutely.
period.
Absolutely.
It takes a team.
And I guess the other thing when going back, all those things you just said is absolutely true. But the other thing, there's certain businesses there's more apt to fail
Mm-hmm.
than
Mm-hmm.
other businesses. For example, like I say, restaurants.
Okay.
Restaurants one of the has the highest failure rate of almost any
Okay.
business.
Okay.
The least failure rate is franchise system.
Uh.
And then there's all of these things in between, like for example, uh, doctor offices, medical providers, and those
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff are more apt to be successful.
Right.
Laundromats, things like that.
Things that have a constant need.
That's right.
Childcare.
Gotta have.
Construction.
That's right. That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
these are some of the different industries
That's right.
where an entrepreneur could see um, either less of a success rate or
That's right.
more.
That's right.
And you're saying that the restaurant industry is a little bit more
A
challenging
little bit
to
more
to
challenging.
see
A little bit
high
more
rates of
challenging.
success.
That's right.
Yeah, because
Yep.
there's so many different moving factors that tie into it that you have to know
Right.
and put into place in order to see that.
Yeah. So I guess my message to people that want to be an entrepreneur, if you are going to open a restaurant, if I was you, I would open a restaurant through a franchise system
Okay.
where the system is already built
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be tough enough for you just to manage the business day to day. At the same time, you're trying to create the back office and all of the systems to make
Right.
sure it works properly. So and not trying to discourage
Right,
people
right, right,
because there
right,
have
right.
been many
But this is real. These
restaurants.
are these are
Yeah,
the real things
yeah,
that are not often talked about,
right.
when we're talking about entrepreneurship and starting different businesses in different
Mm-hmm.
industries. Like
Absolutely.
give us the real.
Yeah,
Give us the real so we can,
yeah.
anybody who is interested in going into
Mm-hmm.
opening a restaurant or something like that, um, they'll know, how to best prepare
Right.
and what to look out for.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. That's no, give us
You know,
the real.
and
Give
one
us
more thing along those lines is really understand. I've had people come to me often, and you've seen it happen to me with different people, and people are trying to pitch an idea to you, and when they pitch the idea to you, they haven't done their research.
Mhm.
They should be
Mhm.
able to tell you things like, okay, there are X if you're going to start a studio or whatever you're going to start, whatever you're doing. If
Mhm.
you're going to open a restaurant, you're going to open a construction company. Well, what is the industry like? How much is the industry valued at?
Right.
What is the industry? Why is it that they need more construction companies
Mhm.
or restaurants or whatever? What are you going to offer? How much capital are you going to need?
Mhm.
And if you think you need $1 million, I'm going to tell you right now, you need two.
Yeah.
You never, so many businesses
That's good.
fail because of cash.
Because of cash,
They just
because of
don't
the
have enough
cash flow, the
cash.
capital. And you
Yep.
said that early on. That's the biggest cause
Right.
of a failed business
Absolutely.
is not having enough money.
Not having enough cash.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when starting, that is something that you absolutely need to
You got to do your homework.
you got to do your homework.
You have to do your
And what did you
homework.
say? You said if
And,
you need $1 million,
yeah.
get
Yeah.
two.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Because you did mention, you said, instead of like setting up for, 2 months of emergency funds or no, it's 6 months. You should
Right.
definitely have 6 months at the
Right.
least.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, okay. So eh, just, in all of this, I want to know, like in those ways that you have, experienced all of those things,
Mm-hmm.
what was some of the things that you saw like your biggest growth in?
My
Even
biggest.
growth,
Okay.
like personal
Yeah.
growth, growth in your
Absolutely.
faith, growth in
Okay.
your business, like,
Absolutely.
like, because you're navigating through
Right.
building something. You
That's
are
right.
navigating the life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because,
So at 25 years old, when I was a young entrepreneur, um, one of the things I thought I needed to do everything myself.
okay.
And I also thought that no one could do anything better than me.
Okay.
The
Let's talk about
absolute opposite.
it.
Number one, what you, as a good leader, what if there's something one of your team members can do,
hmm
you should allow them to do it.
There you go.
You
Oh
should
my
allow
goodness.
them to do it.
Thank you for saying
You
that because
know,
that's something that I often think about. And it's like, like we all have our own strengths
that's right.
and talents and
Mm-hmm.
gifts. And if you have somebody with certain things
That's right.
that they are good at,
Mm-hmm.
allow them to do it.
Have them,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
have them
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
The other
Continue.
thing
That
is,
was good.
be I, I there are experts that would say to you, pay yourself first.
Okay.
I would never allow my employees to go without being paid. And I would pay my team members first.
Okay.
And there are companies that, and especially a lot of small entrepreneur type businesses, they get in trouble. They take more money out of the business because they
Mm-hmm.
want material things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you don't really, I don't even have a car.
Yeah.
I don't even have a car. And it's not, and there are people that have 5 cars and
Right.
10 cars because
Right.
they want to show off. I
Right.
would rather take that money and invest it in the business and invest it in my team to help the team be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And then too, like that's a way of, I mean, you mentioned earlier allowing your teammates to be a part of that like financial gain,
that's right.
and just just being inclusive
Mm-hmm.
with your team and the transparency of how the business operates, the
Right.
system, that makes a difference.
Yes,
That makes a huge difference.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know, I would, me personally, if I was, looking for a job or looking for a company to be a part of,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I would definitely
Mm-hmm.
look at,
Mm-hmm.
and that is
Mm-hmm.
something, if it was present, if it was obvious, it's like, okay, this is somewhere that I want to be. This is somewhere that I want to contribute my time, my talents,
Absolutely.
my expertise,
That's right.
my good energy,
Yep.
because I feel like that's definitely it plays a part in it too.
Yep.
You got to
It's
have
got
good
to be
energy.
belong. They've got to see the vision. They've got
Mm-hmm.
to be rewarded. So I think every business should have a strong, I think there's 3 to 4 ways that every business should offer compensation to their team members.
Okay.
Obviously, they got to pay them their regular salary, right? Their
Mm-hmm.
base
Mm-hmm.
pay. But I think there need to be bonuses. There need to
Okay.
be incentives, and then as often as possible, give them a piece of ownership.
Yes.
Give them an
Yes.
opportunity to own a
Equity.
piece. Yes,
Yes.
you don't have to own 100% of the company or 80 or 90. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
would always urge all entrepreneurs to always own 51% of the company
Okay.
so that you will have,
Why
you know,
51%?
that way because you have control.
Okay.
You have the ultimate, the final decision in the company. Um, I've seen situation in previous companies that I've worked for
Mm-hmm.
where um, the founder got less than 51%
Mm.
and the board of directors was able to remove the founder.
Boom. Out of here.
Yeah. So I
And
would,
so if you have 51%, the board is not able to do that.
no,
Okay,
no,
that is great to
no,
know. That
no, you stay in control. You should have a board, and you can have a board of directors or a board of advisors, 2 different things, right? But you should always have a board.
yeah.
And I think you should also maintain 51%
Okay.
control over the company. So,
Okay. And then let me ask you this because this is a question that's just come to mind. How important is it um, to have a board? Or let me reframe this because what I'm trying to get to is, does it matter the size of the business or the company um, that determines whether or not you need a board, or should this apply to all businesses, no matter what size?
in my opinion,
Okay.
it applies to all
Okay.
businesses. And often, now there's, again, there's the board of directors, like big
Right.
corporate Fortune
Right.
500 company has a
Right.
board of
Right.
directors. They get big salaries and ownership of the company and stuff like that. But there's also a thing called board of advisors.
Okay.
If Even if you own one or two laundromats, you know, you need, because when you're an entrepreneur versus working for corporate America, when you're working for corporate America, you're part of something big,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Often, if you own one laundromat or one restaurant, you're on an island by yourself, and you really have no one to go talk to that understands your business, where you can really have good conversation. You can go
Right.
talk to people that have no understanding of your business, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're going to probably give you bad advice.
Right.
So even if you own one restaurant, in my opinion, you should have an advisory board,
Okay.
one or two people,
Okay.
someone that you can bounce things off of,
Yes.
to help you um, grow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That reminds me of also like being in the space of a nonprofit.
Yes.
My family, we started a nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
in 2024,
Yes.
and it just reminds me, like having a board for the
Right.
nonprofit. It kind of, it's
Absolutely.
it's pretty much the same thing,
Yes.
and it carries the same amount of
Mm-hmm.
importance and weight.
Right.
So yeah, I can definitely see that,
Mm-hmm.
being an important key and factor
Yeah.
in being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. But the other thing I want to say to entrepreneurs, I'm going to look right at the camera for this, because I think it's very important that you don't want to have a board just to have a board.
Right.
You don't want to have a board of people that's just on the board so they can say they're on the board.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
you want are people that truly, genuinely care about your success, and they're willing to invest their time and energy
Mm-hmm.
to learn enough about your business that they can bring value.
Yes.
You can say, I'm on the board, but do you even review the P&Ls, the profit and loss, and the balance sheet, and do you really have a weekly call with that owner, so that he or she can have a person that they can bounce? They're
Mm-hmm.
struggling. They're out there
Mm-hmm.
by themselves, and if you have a board of advisors, could be one person, two or three, or whatever. I think it's very important. I think it's very
Okay.
important.
Okay. And that makes good sense because again, and we're circling back around to, the importance of having a team.
Absolutely.
Because
Always
the
got to have a
board,
team. Always
yeah,
got
the
to have
board
a
is
team.
definitely a part of the
Right.
team.
That's right.
A major part of the team.
Right. That's right.
Um, okay. So that's good. This is great stuff. This
Thank you.
is really
Yeah.
great stuff to
Yeah.
know as an entrepreneur. Again, whether you're someone who's seasoned or whether you're someone who's just walking into this space and
Right.
becoming.
Right.
Um, there's definitely, challenges
Mm-hmm.
and opportunities for growth
That's right.
along that journey.
That's right.
Um, you've hit some really good points. And then so that takes us into step 3. And that is like, what what now does entrepreneurship and the purpose
Mm-hmm.
that you have in it,
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like for you
Yeah.
now that you're in it?
Mm-hmm. So I was with a client yesterday morning, and he made a comment about, his age or whatever,
Mm.
and he happened to be younger than me, but he thought I was younger than him. But and he said, I'm doing well. I'm making X amount of dollars, and all my kids are grown, and I've got a son playing in the NBA or the NFL or whatever, and things are good. And he said, I'm done. And that's good. You can retire. But what's in it for me? I am going to work advising people as long as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, because I have a lot of advice to give.
Right.
And number two, it's not about me anymore. It's about them and helping them mitigate a lot of the problems that I went through. And yes, I still want to make money. I want
Mm-hmm.
generational wealth.
Yes.
People often that look like you and I, very rarely does people that looks like you and I have anything to pass on
Mm.
to the next generation.
Right.
It's very rare. And and I want to break that cycle. I want to
Absolutely.
be able to leave something for my children and my grandchildren and my
Mm-hmm.
great grandchildren and so forth and so on. And but that's a piece. The other thing in it for me, I enjoy business.
Yeah.
And as long as I enjoy it, and I enjoy working with young, energetic, and when I say young, I don't mean necessarily even age wise. It's just, people are excited when they start a business
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they have all of these grandiose ideas
Yeah.
and they don't know what they don't know. And I can sit in the room in about 15 minutes and see things that it's going to take them 9 months to see.
Yeah.
And it delights me to be able. So what's
Mm-hmm.
next?
Mm-hmm.
Generational wealth. Helping as many business owners be successful as possible and just staying mentally strong.
Yes.
If you're
Yes.
out here working, you're mentally strong. It forces you, and I believe it brings longevity, and
Absolutely.
so, what it say? Your logo,
Active
active
faith
faith
walk.
walk,
Mm-hmm.
being active, being out there, being movable, being mobile. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what's
Mm-hmm.
in it for me and for the future. I have no plans to stop anytime soon.
Good.
You know,
Good. That's amazing. And I'm really happy to hear that because, there are people out there who need you. That
absolutely.
you have not even come across yet.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so thank you for that,
Well, thank
like
you.
and let me share this too because I was just reminded of something that you said when you and I first crossed paths,
Uh-huh.
and it stuck with me so profoundly
Mm-hmm.
that it came up months later
Okay.
when I was in a situation
Mm-hmm.
in my space of entrepreneurship and
Mm-hmm.
building, working with different clients. Um, you said this.
Okay.
It's not about, well, no, let me back up because
Right.
first you said your parents lied to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Your parents lied to you.
You're right.
Most parents tell their children it's about who you know.
That's right. That's exactly what they tell
And
them.
you
Yeah.
said, no, no, no.
No, no, no.
It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you.
That's exactly right.
And when you said that, it was like, you
That's
know
right.
what? You are absolutely right
Right.
because I know a number of people.
That's right.
I know a number of people,
That's
but
right.
do these people know me?
That's right.
If I'm moving and shaking,
Right.
in my space of business
That's
or
right.
just, moving and shaking anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I need something. I need to connect some dots somewhere. Who can I call
That's right.
that knows me
That's right.
that could help me connect those dots?
Absolutely.
And that's what it really comes down to. And I promise you, one day I was in a situation working with a client
Mm-hmm.
and I'm, thinking about how to connect some dots, how to
Mm-hmm.
make something happen,
Mm-hmm.
how to pull something together for my
Mm-hmm.
client.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it was like, okay, Simon said, it's about who knows me.
That's
So
right.
let me see, let me go, let me let me pull out, like,
That's
let me
right.
see who knows me. Who
Yeah,
can I call right now who could help me with this?
that's right.
Who knows more than I do?
That's
Because
right.
I'm a person, I am a, like I am a forever learner.
Mm-hmm.
I am, one of the things that I love most about myself is that I'm a very coachable person.
Absolutely.
I'm not one, yes, I know I'm a very intelligent woman, but
Absolutely.
I don't know everything.
That's right.
I don't know everything. I
That's
really
right.
don't.
No one knows everything.
No one
That's
knows
right.
everything. There's
Yeah,
people who know a lot of things,
that's
but
right.
do you know everything? No.
No.
So I've always kept myself open to learning,
Mm-hmm.
being a very coachable person, and
Mm-hmm.
that has really worked for me. And
Mm-hmm.
now just, with different knowledge and different skills that
Mm-hmm.
I'm, obtaining and
Mm-hmm.
practicing,
Mm-hmm.
things are starting to come together for me.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship is starting to look beautiful.
Absolutely.
And one of the biggest things for me is that I never gave up.
Mm-hmm.
I never
That's right.
stopped believing. Being an entrepreneur is something that I feel is something that is just simply a part of who I am, who God
Yep.
created me to be.
Absolutely.
Now, entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
That's right.
And that is okay. And I want that to be expressed also,
That's right.
because entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a certain type of person.
That's right.
It takes a certain type of mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a certain type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things wrap
Yeah.
around to, what it means to be an entrepreneur and be successful in the space.
That's right.
And then some of us are more cut out to be um, teammates.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. And most people, if you look at the
Most people.
population in general, most people are going to be team members working for a large corporation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's that other group of people that have the, just have this burning desire. I've always wanted to be, I mean, that's why I've gone in and out of corporate America,
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur, corporate America. I go back and forth because things happen. There's a lot of reasons you want to be in corporate America. You learn a lot. They teach you a lot
Right.
of things.
Right.
They help you with all of, they spend millions and millions of dollars doing the research.
Mm-hmm.
You take advantage of it, and then you go out and be your own person. You
Correct.
know, it's in
Correct.
me. I want to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be, and I enjoy it, and I love it when I can
Hey,
work with. It's
that's
one
the
of the
best.
things when
That's the
you
best way to
ask,
move.
yeah, when you asked me to be on 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 your podcast
Mm-hmm.
tonight. Um, it's exciting because I'm on your podcast in the early stages. I know this is very important to you, and I know
Mm-hmm.
you'll be extremely successful because, like you say, you're a good learner and you're willing to seek advice and
Yes.
listen. Not that you always follow it,
Correct.
but you at least listen,
at,
seek that
at
advice.
least
So,
listen.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I think that's one of the biggest advantages of being a person who's open to being taught, who's
right.
open to being coached,
Mm-hmm.
open to being corrected,
That's right.
open to, just learning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
um, because when I think about, again, like when I think about my own journey in entrepreneurship
Mm-hmm.
and all of the struggles that I've gone through,
Right.
all of the ups and downs, all of the successes and victories,
Right.
all of the little milestones,
Mm-hmm.
it all comes together for the bigger picture.
Yes.
And again, it's like you said, it's so like it just makes you feel good because
That's right.
it's a part of who you are. It's in
Right.
me.
Absolutely.
It is in me. There's a certain type of a certain level of leadership also. That was something that we did not really touch on, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, Simon, you are someone who I respect
Thank you.
in the highest way, and I really truly admire your leadership and the way that that you are able to lead
Mm-hmm.
in different spaces, in different people, different environments,
Yeah.
and it reminds me a lot of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Mm-hmm.
so being able to see that it's almost, it's like a mirror, and it's, it's confirmation to me, and it's
Right.
been motivating to, like, okay, you're not going to give up. You're not going to give this up.
No,
You have to keep going.
that's
It
right.
didn't work that way, but
Right.
here's someone who you can actually see,
Mm-hmm.
learn from that,
That's right.
you know, take, and like you said, learning things from corporate America, and
Yeah.
then taking it to your own
Absolutely.
and building around that
That's
with
right.
a purpose, with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yeah.
I
It's the
love
way to
it.
go. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Other thing I want to say, because people often talk about, the new thing, AI technology and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that every business owner, whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever,
Yeah.
it is the way of the future, right? It is
Yes.
absolutely the way of the
It
future.
absolutely.
So take the time now, early on, and learn it,
To learn
to
it.
learn it, and get
Did you
involved
guys
with.
catch that?
Yeah,
Where am I?
yeah,
You know,
exactly. You've got to
learn
do it.
it.
And they talk about us that's over 40, and they say that all we do with AI is ask questions. So I always want to be different. I always want to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I have gone after multiple AI supposedly experts. And what I have learned is I think you are an expert on AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I talk to you and ask you a series of questions. And then I go to the next person and I have you go with me and
Mm-hmm.
come to find out you're in first grade when it comes to AI. And the next person might be in junior high or in high school or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
and and you really need to know there's a lot of folks out there right now saying they're AI coaches or whatever.
Right.
And again, to entrepreneurs, use that technology, find someone that prove by asking questions that they are really the person that can take you where you need to be, because they can really take a lot of labor dollars out of your business if
Yes.
you use the technology
Mm-hmm.
correctly. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
another,
a great point. That is a great point, and I'm so happy that you even brought that up, because we are living in a time where, things are changing.
yes,
AI is the really the new wave. It's the wave of the future.
that's right.
And it's so interesting that you said that, because I was trying to have a conversation with my daughter
Uh huh.
um, a few weeks ago. She's 11.
Uh huh.
She
Right.
doesn't, she's not quite
Right.
interested in it, but still,
Mm-hmm.
I had the conversation with her and encouraged her to learn AI. And
Right.
her whole thing was, well, it's bad for the world. And it's like,
Right.
okay, well,
Right.
that may have some truth to it,
Mike.
but guess
Yeah.
what? It
Right.
is becoming the way of the world.
That's right. That's right.
so
Don't get left
so
behind.
don't get left behind.
Yeah.
Start to learn it now.
Right.
Like, it's not,
Right.
it's not all bad, and even the things that are bad with it,
Right.
learn about how
Right.
are they bad?
Mm-hmm.
Learn different ways that maybe you can make some improvements along the way.
Right.
But yeah, that's advice that I gave to an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still,
We
like,
all need
and
that
now
advice.
we get to share that same advice
Right.
with whoever is
Want
tuning
it.
in,
That's
whoever
right.
is watching.
Right.
um Learn AI,
Absolutely.
apply it,
That's
use
right.
it, because
Right.
it is a way of how our world is working.
That's right.
I read somewhere where it in China, they're already putting they already have, AI classes
Mm-hmm.
in the school curriculum
Wow.
in elementary,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
as young as elementary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
already in the school curriculum, and
That's
they're being
amazing.
taught that.
Yeah.
That should let everybody know something.
That's right.
A
It's
major thing.
right.
It's something happening. Yeah, okay, cool. So, okay. So I want to wrap us around to this,
Okay.
because I feel like this is extremely important, not just for us in this conversation and to express and get out and share,
Right.
but also just, to again, to the entrepreneur, or the person who is even considering becoming an entrepreneur, wanting
Mm-hmm.
to be in that space.
Mm-hmm.
What is some advice
Mm-hmm.
that you would give to a
Mm-hmm.
young entrepreneur, and young
Mm-hmm.
not meaning age, but
Mm-hmm.
young in the,
Mm-hmm.
in that space,
Mm-hmm.
who may be struggling with,
Mm-hmm.
with getting up and
Mm-hmm.
getting to the next
Mm-hmm.
stage or phase of
Mm-hmm.
elevation within their, and with their building? Like,
Yeah.
what's some good advice? Because I know
Yeah.
I've experienced some burnout.
Yeah. Well, I think do your homework.
Yeah.
First of all, do your homework,
Okay.
and then number two, seek out people like me.
Yeah.
And so I say this to people often. Um, you know, a lot of people leave corporate America and they become consultants,
Okay.
and I'm not a consultant.
Okay.
I mean, I give advice, but I don't. I'm a business developer,
Yes.
and people will come to me and they say, okay, so what are you going to charge? You're going to be charging me 500-600 bucks an hour? I go, I don't know what I'm going to charge you.
Yeah.
If you're a young entrepreneur and you are just getting started, find someone that genuinely would care to help you drive your business without taking a lot of money from you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have money in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning.
Correct.
Not that anyone's going to work free for a period of time,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so many different ways that you could find honest, talented executives
Yes.
that could sit with you and guide you through a lot of the things that you're going to have to learn on your own. Is going to take you 6 or 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the
Mm-hmm.
right coach or the right advisor or the right leader or whatever with you, that 9 months might be able to be shrunk down into 2 months or 3 months or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So do your homework, find someone that's willing to work with you, but not someone that's trying to take control of your business, someone that's trying
Correct.
to get a large percentage of your company, someone is going to charge you, an absorbent amount of money that you can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the way I go to business. I go to market with, first of all, finding genuine people that I want to work with,
Yeah.
number one. And then number two, they want to work with me.
Yes.
And if we're two people and we want to help each other be successful, well, then let's work together.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't come to you and say, well, Alana, if I'm going to be your advisor, I'm going to need 20,000 a month or 10,000 a month or
Yeah.
whatever, any amount. I don't know what I need. So do this. I say to them often, you trust me and I trust you. We will sign an agreement, you know, so that it keeps relationships by signing some
Mm-hmm.
type of
Mm-hmm.
agreement. Um, and then they said, well, what are you going to charge me? Well, I don't know. But if you give me your P&L and your balance sheet and you give me an open door into your business, I will come in and analyze your business for 30 days and I won't charge you a penny, not
Mm-hmm.
one penny
Mm-hmm.
and I'll come
Mm-hmm.
in but you got to, number one, I got to want to work with you.
Right.
And number two, you got to want to work with me.
Uh-huh.
And it's got to be trust. I'll come in and analyze your business. And by looking at your P&L, asking you questions,
Mm-hmm.
I can determine in short order whether or not you're someone that I'm willing to, not that you're a bad person, but is your ideal solid?
Right.
Have you done your homework? Um,
Do you
and
know how much money you'll
is
need?
not how much money you need. That's right. But looking at the P&Ls, so when I come back to you and say, well, Mr. and Mrs. Entrepreneur, over the last 30 days, here's what I've observed. And what do you think? If I can you have 50 problems I've
Mm-hmm.
identified.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fix 50 problems, but I can fix these five.
Yes.
And these five right here should generate you this amount of money or productivity or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm willing to do that, and I can do it in this amount of time. How much would you like to offer me in compensation to do that for you? What is your offer?
Mm-hmm.
And people and young entrepreneurs, they go read all this stuff, and they say, well, you gotta pay these people like attorneys, $6, $7, $800
Like
an
a
hour, or
retainer.
you gotta pay them. Pardon me?
Like a retainer?
Yeah, or a retainer or
Okay.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know already you can't afford that.
Yeah.
So if I really care about you, I'm gonna say no. You said you're gonna give me $2,000 a month. I know you can afford five.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me about the content of your character right then and there. You're already
Yes.
trying to rip me off.
Yes.
Because you said, well, all I can afford is two. No, I saw your P&L. I know you can afford five. Or you tell me you can afford five, but I've seen your P&L. And I said, no, all you can afford is two.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll do it for two, to help you get going for a short period of time because I care about you. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to be successful
Yeah.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there are people, there's still good people in the world, and there are people that have retired or are on their way to retirement that would love to stay in the circle of new businesses and
Mm-hmm.
that would be
Mm-hmm.
willing to share some of that knowledge with you.
Yeah.
So that would be my
Your advice.
my
That's
advice.
great advice.
Yeah.
That's actually really powerful. And thank you so much for sharing that because, some entrepreneur out there
Mm-hmm.
who's watching, or again, somebody who is even considering walking into that space and
Right.
still a little unsure, they'll hear that and
Right.
that will give them some encouragement and some hope.
Absolutely.
Because I know, it did it for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And these are all very factual and real life things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Again, this is real life, real journeys,
Yeah.
and real people.
Absolutely.
And so we have to these are the things that we don't really hear too much about.
Right.
But this is like kind of like the behind the scenes type of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thank you very much for
Thank you.
sharing that.
Thank you.
Um and I want to kind of wrap us up with this.
Okay.
Um you said earlier that, again, I'm just wrapping back around to
Okay.
the
Yeah.
whole,
All right. All right.
team
Yeah.
mentality, because that
Yes.
is important. That's
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that I have struggled with,
Right.
getting in my own way,
Right.
trying to do things by myself,
Yes.
which has, led me to burnout or
Mm-hmm.
being discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Um, find good people.
Yes.
Find good people. And I
Right.
want to just, throwing in my 2 cents
Mm-hmm.
with that,
Mm-hmm.
because this is something that I too have had to kind of stumble
Mm-hmm.
over
Mm-hmm.
and then, walk up on
Mm-hmm.
and come to the acceptance that, hey, I need people.
That's right.
And again, tying going back to actively walking by faith and,
Mm-hmm.
and believing,
Mm-hmm.
because the word tells us that iron sharpens iron sharpens iron.
Right.
God made
That's
people
right.
for people.
Absolutely.
We need each other.
Absolutely.
So it's important for us to really come together in these different spaces. Get out there and network,
That's
meet
right.
people, build relationships,
Mm-hmm.
have good intention.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's one of the most important thing is having
Abs-
good intention.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
one thing that I will say that I have learned along the way and just really observed
Mm-hmm.
is, gifts and talents will definitely put you in rooms and open doors for you,
That's
but
right.
it's your good character, it's your character
That's right.
and your intentions and your energy that keeps you in those rooms and allow
Yes.
you to thrive.
Yes. Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
And that's just the real of the whole thing.
Right.
That's a hard truth,
Yes.
but a very, a very important truth to
Yes.
take in and accept and acknowledge and all of those things. Um, okay, good.
Mm. All right.
Good. Well, this has been such a great conversation. I feel like, I feel totally invigorated. You
All
know,
right.
like I feel
All right.
invigorated. I feel motivated to
Absolutely.
go and, and do more.
Absolutely.
To,
Absolutely.
like continue to
Mhm.
build what I'm building.
Yes.
Just arriving here, being, starting
Right.
my podcast,
Right.
how much
Yeah.
of a challenge that has
I
been for
know.
me, but it was
Absolutely.
really,
Absolutely.
me taking that huge leap of faith and
Mm-hmm.
trusting that God is right there. Like,
Right.
because my intentions are good.
Absolutely.
Um and I know that this wasn't something that necessarily came from a grand idea that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is
Right.
me having a podcast, opening up my journal,
Right.
sharing my journeys in different aspects of life, my experiences, and really just talking is not
Right.
something that I
Right.
would typically do. Like I'm a
Right.
private person and I hardly share my personal life with people closest to me.
Right.
But I'm glad that I'm here. Like
Absolutely.
I'm glad that my experience, my obedience, my
Right.
faith has brought me here and I truly
Beautiful.
feel like, I'm walking in purpose. And that brings us
Absolutely.
to, to our destination here in this conversation,
Yes.
which is, building with purpose. Building with
Absolutely.
purpose around faith, leadership, and entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
It all goes hand in
All goes
hand.
hand in hand. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, I really appreciate you inviting me. I have enjoyed our time together.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
talking business, and I know that your success with your new journey here is going to be great. I know all
Thank
the hard
you.
work that you've put in, and it's going to pay big dividends for you. But more importantly than paying big dividends for you, it's going to pay big dividends for the people that are watching. And
Absolutely.
so I appreciate you
Absolutely.
having me on. So
Yes,
thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much,
All
Simon,
right.
for being
Thank you.
here. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All
Thank you
right.
so,
Thanks.
so much.
All right.
Thank you all for joining us in this conversation on Active Faith Walk podcast. And again, this is a very intentional space for real people walking real journeys in real life. And I am so honored and so happy to have had this conversation and share with you all um, the different ups and downs and the just the journey of it all. Thank you so much for joining us. If this episode resonated with you or somebody that you know who may be in this space, um, please do me a huge favor, like and share and even subscribe because, we've got some great conversations that can really help and motivate and uplift, encourage anybody who tunes in and is, going through the the journey of life, I'll say. Um, so again, join us for the next time and continue to walk in faith.